Because you've turned it upside down, mate.
Right, so it's no longer contained, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Therefore, the bucket's no longer a container.
You talking to me like I'm stupid, but you sound so ridiculous.
I am talking to you like you're stupid because you think something that isn't closed in on all sides is still classified as the container you're talking about for your fucking snow dome.
No, I'm talking about a container. Are you crazy, mate? Do you understand what you're arguing right now? Because I think you're suffering from grand illusion, like a mental disorder. So we need to go to the source of the problem and speak about your cycle problem right now, your mental problem that you're suffering from, because you are now denying the fact that a bucket is a container, regardless of you having a lid or not.
No. It's in your definitions of. Hang on, wait. It's in your definitions of container. You guys expect it to be enclosed, yet a bucket technically is not enclosed.
Forget about a closed container. Forget about gas without a container. Let's just talk about a bucket in itself. Is a bucket, yes or no, classified as a container? Let's just get this straight. Yeah. Then we'll move on to something a bit more complicated.
Definition.
We'll move on to something more complicated after we've clarified whether a bucket is a container or not. That's what we want to clarify right now.
Or a receptacle.
This is really embarrassing for you right now, Dr. Fabrication Engineer, who can't even figure out whether a bucket's a container.
Well, he did think Central America was an Amazon, so give him a chance.
Oh, did it?
Yes, this is probably already conceded that point, so fuck you, Chemo, you fucking retard.
Come on, Chemo's never been wrong.
I hold my hands up. If I'm wrong, I hold my hands up and say, hey, I'm wrong. But Davros will not concede.
Still preaching about flat Earth?
I swear I heard the dude 7 minutes ago say, I'll never concede.
Right.
Then he went, I conceded to that point.
That wasn't me. I never said that.
Look, Dr. Fabrication, you've embarrassed yourself right now. You've embarrassed yourself dramatically.
I never said that.
Never really happened.
You sorted out this mental deficiency you've got, yeah? Are you willing to understand the difference between a bucket?
But reasons. Okay, if you're going to go down this line, you take that bucket, fill it with water, turn it upside down. Is the water still contained in the bucket?
Yes, if you're spinning it. Rectum.
I didn't say that.
Look, I'm going to speak very clearly English to you. Forget
you don't
just
know
a
how
bucket
to speak
alone.
English.
For just a bucket alone, is it considered a container, yes or no? Regardless. Like, by definition, is a bucket without... Hold on. A bucket without a lid, is that considered... What else do I ask your answer?
You already asked me a bloody question.
What's your answer?
Answer that one. Okay, if the bucket is upright and you put water in it, yes,
no, that's not the answer to the question. That's not the answer to the question. Regardless of any external forces... the question is, regardless of water or anything else, just a bucket alone, objectifying an actual bucket, is that bucket considered a container, yes or no?
Only in its upright position.
So it's still by its definition considered a container. That's what I'm trying to get at.
Only in its upright position.
It doesn't matter whether what position
it's upside down. It can't hold the water.
I can contain a rat inside of a bucket when a bucket's upside down. It's still considered a container.
Hold up.
The bucket itself is considered a container, whether you want to fucking play a semantical game or not.
Let me add him. So he said only its upright condition. If it's upside down and there's a helium balloon underneath it and it's containing the helium balloon, is it not a container?
We are talking about water, you idiot.
No, we're talking about the bucket, you fucking spastic.
Yeah.
We're talking about the bucket.
This is where you guys are playing all that mental gymnastics.
I'm not playing the game. It's a simple.
It cannot hold the water, can it?
This isn't even up for a debate.
If you can't hold something, it is no longer contained.
You are an embarrassment.
This is how dense you people are.
You're an embarrassment to your family.
If it is no longer contained, how is it a container?
You're an embarrassment to your country. You're an embarrassment to your friends and family.
Good
You're
Lord.
an embarrassment.
Time out.
Bro, he said irrespective of the object. He said irrespective.
T for time.
You're an embarrassment to your whole fucking establishment. Every single thing that you represent is an embarrassment.
Reasons.
You are an embarrassment. This isn't even a fucking argument.
She said tea time. You guys are Brits. You should respect that more than anyone.
Yeah. Jeez, what is wrong with you?
What? Nothing, because I know a bucket's a container. There's nothing wrong with me. What's wrong with you to say that bucket is not a container?
Look, can you stop?
him respond. All right, Davos. Let him respond, bro, mate. Come on, let him respond. Davos,
how can he respond?
Okay,
Davos is being asked a question.
Yeah, if the bucket is standing upright and you fill it with water, yes, the bucket is containing the water. The moment you tip that bucket over, it's no longer containing the water. And that's where you guys are failing.
I got you. So the bucket's upright. It's containing water, right?
Yes.
Now you heat up the bucket. Is the bucket still containing the water? Still upright.
What does that...
Exactly.
Why are you bringing in a third option to the position of the bucket?
Water.
No, we're talking about the position of the bucket.
When it's upright, just because you heat it up.
Even if you tilt it on its fucking side, it's not holding onto the water. Fuck you guys.
All right, but hold on. Let me ask my question to Davros. When the bucket is upside down, is it containing anything? Is there anything in that bucket being contained?
Don't add more shit to this that we're not talking. I'm talking about putting water in the bucket. You tip the bucket upside down, it is no longer containing it, correct?
It's not containing it now. Because
right, that's when it's no longer able to contain the water. But therefore, it's wrong.
But is it still a container?
In that instance, it is no longer a container for the water.
But is the bucket a container itself?
No. Don't. That's where you guys have got this wrong. You guys keep going on that you can have an open container still contain something.
Off Google. A bucket is hold on. A bucket is typically shut up. A bucket is typically a watertight vertical cylinder, and I can't read the word, clone and square, with an open top and a flat bottom attached to this semicircular carrying a handle and a bail. A bucket is usually an open top container. No! In contrast.
You did not say that to begin with.
He says the bucket a container.
And it's simply a container. It's still a container, bro. Like,
let's be fair. Let's be fair, reasons. You love to parrot Quantum Eraser. So Quantum Eraser first said that a container had to be sealed, right? So then Blue did the butane experiment without putting a top on it, without a lid, and proved that. And he changed, and then he flip-flopped and said, no, it's a container. So either way you cut it, it's not going to work. Either the thing's got a lid or it doesn't have a lid. You're not going to accept it.
Right. See, Paul, don't come in and talk about it.
Hold on. You've been talking forever.
Yeah, but I'm talking back to what you've just said. You come in here hot saying, oh, you quantum, fuck Quantum Eraser, yeah, fuck him. What I'm trying to say to you, yeah, is that he has a good argument. Don't give a fuck about him. And when I'm arguing some of the premise of his argument, I don't mean that everything he's ever argued, therefore, is attached to me. I'm an individual. And a container, right, the way that I understand the argument is that you cannot have gas pressure without a container. Now, you've got an open container, and you want to use that analogous to say, all right, if we use centrifugal force, that reenacts the force of gravity holding the stuff in the bottom, and that's how we can have an open container. I understand that point, but the fact of the matter is, it's still a container. A bucket with sides and a wall is a container. Now, what you do have on your model is not a container holding the surface to a... you have an open surface.
Right. Now let's take what you say to the ultimate extreme. I take a bucket, I fill it full of water to the very, very top, very, very top. Now I put that sun in a summer's day. What's happening to that water the whole time? Is the evaporating water being contained?
Now you're proving fabrication wrong.
Yes and no. Some of it's been evaporated, so it's a bit of both.
Remember, it's at the very top of the bucket, so it's physically using meniscus. It's not even inside the bucket.
It will evaporate out the bucket.
So it's not being contained then.
Well, it's still being contained.
Is there anything you can do? Hold on. Is there anything you can do while that sun is shining on that water to stop that water from evaporating?
What has this got to do with the argument?
Container?
You can put a lid on it.
Yeah. Well, look. What's this got to do with the argument?
The point is that
it's still containing the water. It's containing the water.
The container that you're talking about is something
it is containing the water. Listen, it is containing the water, but the water is under a process of actually dissipating through the heat. But it is containing the water, so yes, it's containing it. But the point that I'm trying to
do you know what also it's containing?
You're white knighted for this guy. You're white knighted for
do you know what also it's containing is the oxygen that hasn't decompressed inside the water. That's not going anywhere.
Great stuff. It's still contained. What you arguing about is still a bucket. It's still a container. It's still consistent with my point. You're talking
There's
absolute
gas
nonsense.
pressure inside the water without a lid.
What the fuck are you talking about? It's an open container.
It's a changing states, isn't
Let
it?
me explain something to you, right? Let me explain something to you. The Earth
There's
is an open surface. The Earth is an open surface. It's not a container. It doesn't have walls. It's not a bucket. It's not analogous. You have an open surface. That's an open surface like a plate or a ball. Yeah. So you have a ball with a gravitational pull. Yeah. On an open surface, you don't have a container at all. So you can't even use that analogous bucket in any scenario because it's nowhere near compared to the open surface. You live on. You don't live on a container. You live on an open surface.
I'll make a bucket the shape of the ocean, one of the oceans, okay, and I'll use the ratio of the below sea level, just like we know it to be when we've mapped it, okay, and I'll put water in it. Then now it's mimicking the ocean. Now what? Is it still a container?
Now you put it in a vacuum. Then you put it inside.
No, I'm using the same. I'm seeing the ratio. Put it in a vacuum.
Then you put it inside of a vacuum.
We're going to lose the atmosphere.
There we go.
And it will evaporate.
Gas pressure without a container.
Can you guys give me like
That's my
10
argument.
seconds?
Thank you very much.
No, but your argument falls apart because you're out on a second.
Your model falls apart. Your model falls apart.
No, because when it goes into
you just said it yourself. How do you have atmosphere?
Listen.
Okay, okay, you got him. Let him retort. Let him retort.
Come on.
People, you're getting nowhere, dude.
Gotta be able to respond, Brummy. Come on.
Well, I'm trying to get my point out, and he's talking through every single point.
The point is that Brummy and Davros were talking past each other. Brummy's example of a bucket is a container in some instances. It's a conditional container. And Davros is saying it's not always a container. And you guys are both right.
Yeah, but the point is that the gas pressure argument is based on pressure above atmospheric pressure, because gas pressure at atmospheric level is the gas pressure that keeps the oceans completely in it, from evaporating, which keeps our atmosphere here. Now putting it into a vacuum, changing the environment, therefore removing the atmospheric pressure that was present, now the water evaporates every time. So in the open system world of the Earth that you claimed, Brummy, why don't the Earth oceans evaporate? Because the moment we take away the pressure, that same seawater will evaporate.
Don't talk. That's your question. We presume that you can have gas pressure without a container, so we don't have an open system. You have an open system in your globe model on an open surface inside of a vacuum with a -17 torr. So get your little model, put it inside of a vacuum, and watch the atmosphere get ripped off because you have no container. Argument done. And yes, a container is always a container. When you put it left, right, upside down, doesn't matter. It's still objectifying. A bucket is always going to be a container by definition. The end. Period.
Okay, let me respond. I
concede, so I can have a nice drink of nourishment.
No, let me respond. Like I didn't interrupt you, right? I didn't interrupt you.
Go on, then.
I didn't interrupt you.
Yes. Got it.
So, what you just did there was hijack the globe's understanding, try to relabel it something, and then presuppose that there's no gas pressure at all that needs to be contained. All you did was presuppose the opposite of the globe and then use the fundamentals to still make your argument. Get your own science. Game, set, match.
What do you mean? I've never done none of that. I just said your model is an open surface in a near perfect vacuum. No, inside of a vacuum near the -17 torr, and yet you've got some little force called gravity apparently holding your atmosphere down. I says, now go and push a fucking model of a flat model inside of a vacuum and see if it will hold up, and it won't, because it'll rip the atmosphere off. It won't do it on our model because we presume that we're contained. So you try to say that about the flat Earth model. I told you we were contained. You're the hold on, I finished. You're the one with the open surface. You're the one with the open surface, not Moss. You're the one with the open service. You lose.
Here's the thing you missed out. We also say that gravity keeps the water in that container while it's evaporating. You try to say relative density, but that doesn't work either. Like I said, it does work. You hijack. No, because that's a presupposition. You've got no science except for borrowing the globe science to set your presupposition. So you presuppose your outcome and think it's bullshit.
Well, it still kind of works.
You don't have science. You have pseudoscience.
No.
You have Einstein.
Alright, look, guys, look.
People,
Brummy. Guys, look.
If you can get over admitting gravity, your density thing works a little bit, but that's why.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Density and weight are caused by gravity. And you don't realize that one either, do you?
No, what you don't realise is that gravity is not a
Actually, no.
So
you got to share the mic.
Density, but we already know heavy things go down.
You don't hear me,
when you go out in the universe.
You don't understand that thing. Because you don't even understand
buoyancy. Have you got me turned down or something? You not hear me? So what we're saying is, you're just shouting. There are other people who want to say something on what you're saying. So.
Okay, what do you want to say now, Gamer?
No, not me. There are other people I'm saying that want to say something. But
I want to switch gears a bit.
Yeah.
I want to ask Globers here, because they're more trusting of authority and stuff. I want to ask them, are they like ready to take this super rushed vaccine that's made out of aborted
easy win?
And are you guys do you trust authority to that level that you have no qualms about taking that rushed vaccine? The one that will give you side effects that you need 2 shots for and everything?
No.
No, they were talking about...
New Zealand's almost COVID-free. I don't need a vaccine.
They were talking about the gas pressure thing, percent.
That's right. He wants to go to the vaccine. There's my answer for %. I don't think I'll need to take the vaccine because we're almost COVID-free.
Oh, did you concede then, Cheapo?
Hell no, I didn't concede. I made my very solid point that to explain anything in the flat Earth model, you have to presuppose something you can't test and then borrow the globe science, whether you like it or not. And if you don't, then find another way to get the 9.8 meters per second without using anything gravity.
I already told you. I'll give you one right now. The frequency of the universe is a frequency that causes the matter to find its
it's a presupposition.
Well, so is gravity. So is your fucking bending the warp in space. No, don't talk to me when I'm talking. I heard you speak. Now you don't get to interrupt me.
All right, it's annoying, isn't it? So that would be my last time.
So you don't get to speak now because it's my turn to speak. So at the end of the day, you're just going to sit there and go, well, even though we live in a violation of the second law of thermodynamics, even though that we ain't contained, and apparently we are exposed to a vacuum, and we ignore all that, and I'm going to go back to the gravity point and go, oh look, but we have gravity because Einstein said it's not even gravity, it's an effect of the bend of the warp in space-time that gives the illusion of celestial objects coming to gravitate towards it when it's not actually mass attracting match. It's just the illusion of the bend of the warp in space-time. But now all of a sudden over on Earth, oh yeah, the Newtonian gravity because oh look, things fall at a 9 rate. Well, the rate that things fall is the way that things seek their equilibrium. But what you do is you ignore what things going up. So your actual claim on Newtonian gravity on Earth is actually incorrect anyway. So you're just trying to have pick and choose which gravity is it you're having. Is it the superseding Einstein one or is it Newtonian one?
Are you done?
Brummy!
Are you done?
Nice script, buddy!
Are you done?
Nice script!
Are you done? Can I respond and you're not going to talk now? Okay, good. Right, for example, Newtonian came first and was more about the laws of motion. So we don't use Newtonian to do things we can do with Newtonian, only if we can use it for space-time. Now, space-time bending, was Einstein's, lack of understanding on what we know today. But now with, things like microgravitational lensing, we can have a celestial body pass in front of a star and literally watch real time the light bend around that body. So there's your bending of space-time right there. What else did you say? Newtonian physics set laws of motion that even you can't deny. They'll never be superseded. He was never superseded, and Einstein said that his fundamentals will never be removed. So stop acting like you understand this pseudoscience angle, because gravity is much more plausible than a atmosphere, a non-atmosphere. And finally, the second law of thermodynamics, can you even recite it?
The second law of thermodynamics? Well, the way that I understand it is a basic version. So you say that entropy is basically the behavior of gases once you basically, if you isolate 2 different gases and you release the warm between them, they will mix. It's the same as when you pour coffee into some milk into a coffee and you're just mixing a random mix. Don't interrupt me, it's the time for you to talk. Also, you've got fucking what was I'm losing my train of thought because people like hecklers always like to talk to me when I left you to talk all around. So basically, I'm kind of lost my train of thought. Where else are we going with this? The
second law.
Right, yeah, hot will always go to cold. We can always agree with that. And pressurized gas or air pressure will always go to low pressure. For example, if I pop a tire, the tire will always rush out to the other side. and and there's no forcing that air out. It's just that's how gases behave, and they just go to seek the lower pressure, and that's basically why we expect the atmosphere to go out into space. But the reason you're saying it's not because you're saying this fucking pseudoscience gravity is holding it in. When we look at gases, we see that they don't behave under the force of gravity because they're going omnidirectional. They're always in directional. They don't have a downward force. They don't have a downward bias, and it's not proven to have a downward bias. And you're trying to say the reason that things go up like helium is because it's pulling all the gas molecules around it downwards, which is not true because we can see the behavior of gases. It's omnidirectional. So the reason that helium is going up is because it's free to go up because it's lighter. Lighter things go up, heavy things go down. So when you talk about Newtonian gravity only going down, and that's the speed and the rate that things find its equilibrium, that's great. You've calculated the speed that things find the equilibrium, but is there a force behind it? No, there isn't, because even Einstein said it is not a force; it's an effect at best. So you're also forgetting the things that are going up. You didn't give me a formula for the things that are going up, are you? Because you can ignore that. You're just taking what you want out of the equation and running with that. The end.
Right. Okay. So I asked you to recite the second law of thermodynamics. I asked you to recite the second law of thermodynamics. You didn't go on to say about entropy and all the rest of it. Entropy in a system either will increase or remain the same inside an isolated system. The Earth is a closed dynamic system, so it doesn't apply. Dead in the water.
The other thing is that when you're talking about the second law of thermodynamics and you're talking about a rubber tire, it takes the second law of thermodynamics states that the amount of energy you put into inflating the tire, you will never get that amount of energy out of the tire again when you puncture it.
In Scotland, in fair play.
That's great. I mean, there's a lot. Obviously, there's a lot more details too.
I'll make the three laws of thermodynamics very, very simple for you.
Thank you. Go ahead.
First law of thermodynamics.
What if you include the puncturing energy?
First law of thermodynamics: there ain't no such thing as a free lunch. You will always get less energy out of a system than you put in. Second law of thermodynamics: you can't even break even, meaning you will always get less energy out of a system than you put into it. Third law of energy, third law of thermodynamics: you will always lose, meaning you will never get as much energy out of a system as you put into it.
So basically, it's like you're saying let's say that the energy you generate to try and power up stuff. You're always gonna have to work harder to produce the energy than you are to actually get the energy getting out. Because if you could produce more energy than you're doing, then you could basically create like a cycle where it just produces itself, and you'd have infinite energy, right?
Exist.
Yeah, cool. That's great.
Even the Earth only functions because we get energy from the sun. We get excess energy from the sun.
Yeah, that's basically as free as energy gets, really. And the ocean, there's a lot of energy in the ocean with the way it travels and it moves back and forth. We can harness a lot of that. There's a lot of a lot of natural wind as well. We're trying to harness. There's a lot of natural energy that we're not really taking up. So rather than trying to make the work and lose, as you said, there's no strings of free lunch. Putting work in to get some work out. We should just use the natural world to get our energy from. If we harness it properly and make it more efficient, then we wouldn't need all these nuclear power plants, etc. All this energy that people are using at the gyms, that energy could be harnessed. I mean, every little bit counts.
The problem that you have with energy is it's not just producing the energy; it's transporting the energy, and there is a lot of lossage, especially the way that American grid is constructed. The amount of lossage you would have to do at a low, high.
Well, that's why Tesla changed from DC to AC, isn't it? Because AC can transport the energy a lot quicker and a lot more efficient with lower voltages.
You would have to do a high voltage grid.
So I'm not a fucking idiot. I do understand the concepts of things. I might not know the full the fully. I'm not an encyclopedia and explain it in full detail. But as long as I got the gist of what's been said about the second law of thermodynamics, I'm happy with that. I'm satisfied that we are talking about the fact that this gas is not escaping out into the atmosphere. That's the only part that we need to really know. That's the only thing we're in contention right now. So you guys are saying, that we're not contained. We have this gravity, but then we look at the behavior of gravity on the gases, and it's not behaving the way that you guys are saying it is and postulating it is. And then you're saying that So I'm just saying, well, that it does seem a bit inconsistent, and I do think there's a real way that we can live in a world where we don't have gravity. We do have just the nature of the universe.
Hold on a second, Brummy. Jumping ahead. So for anyone on the fence, would be like, well, you and Sheeple are describing what reality is. But Sheeple's saying that you're not explaining his version of events, kind of brushing over it. I think that's like, well, so. If you look at it, it looks like it's like a victory dance. You're saying, well, you're not getting it, and that's just the way it is. But he's saying, well, how we see it is not the way that you're explaining it. So it's not a victory.
I got a thought experiment for you, Brummy, based on everything you said. Okay, let's take a helium balloon. Okay, let's take a pretty decent balloon. You know, not like a party balloon, but like a proper balloon, weather balloon. Okay, we fill it with helium. We fill it with helium. Yep. Okay. I don't know if you've ever seen the weather stations that people make and then bring them back down their own balloons. Yep. Okay, so we let this balloon go. Tell me what's going to happen to this balloon from start to finish.
Start to finish, I'm going to tell you what happens when you fill a helium balloon up.
Yep, okay, the helium balloon, it's 3 feet wide, and I let go of it. Now what happens?
Well, just what every helium balloon does when you do high altitude balloons, it rises up in the sky and it continues to rise until it hits the top of the apparently I don't know how high actually it gets, so I don't want to guess. I think it's about 120,000 feet or 120, something like that. So it gets to about there, and basically the air gets really thin up there, and obviously the gradient puts a lot of pressure on it, and basically it becomes a lot of nothingness up there, which suggests space. Basically, when it gets to that point, the pressure inside the balloon becomes the entropy is trying to escape outside the balloon so much the pressure actually tears the balloon, and it actually pops. But I think to say what actually happens, from what I believe the actual heliocentric model is claiming, is that there is a density at the bottom of the balloon which gives it an upward force. So basically, because all the atoms are sitting on top of each other, a bit like when you're at the bottom of a pool, when you've got all these little balls on top of you, you're going to feel a weight on top of you because you've basically got all the molecules on top of you crushing you, whereas you think it's the gravity pulling down. So I think that's why you're conceiving that it's a gravitational pull pulling down, but really it's just the amount of atoms on top of you, like being at the bottom of the pool, you're getting this pressure at the bottom. Now this pressure at the bottom is obviously giving it the upward force, but I think that's just the way the things formulate, the way that you put a lot of stuff into something. Like you put a bottle of water, you got a bottle of water, then at the bottom of the water there'd be more pressure. And it's just the same as like in the balloon, there's more pressure at the bottom, not because of gravity, but because there's more molecules pushing on each other and they're all trying to get up. So they basically create a more pressurized force at the bottom of the balloon. So that pushes it up. And that's it basically. Is that good enough for you?
Well, yeah, absolutely. Well done. And I appreciate we could do it in a calm manner, because before it felt like a debate marathon and we were running while we were debating. But anyway, that's very good. But here's the problem, and I don't want to take the mic anymore, so we'll finish it on this point. The issue you've got is that things can have a mass. Everything can be made out of atoms or material, right? But what is the mechanism, if not gravity, that gives that mass a weight? Because in our model, the mass of the atmosphere and gravity creates a downward force, which creates that pressure, which thickens as it gets further away from the Earth. Which you're correct. The inside pressure from the balloon does push out and pop, but also there's no pressure pushing on the outside of the balloon anymore, and that's why it can expand. And that's where
gases want to escape. Do you understand? Like it's like they've got like a sense that they just seek out to fill the available space. That's what they want to do. And if there's something in the way of it, and then obviously that force will just get greater and greater and greater as the air thins out more and more, and then obviously the tension on the balloon will eventually rip. And we can't like get a helium balloon made out of steel because it's too heavy and it will counter the force of the buoyant force.
Absolutely.
So it's kind of like we've got obviously more on here. We have to use a material that's light that won't hinder won't work too much of a container, like a solid container like we weigh gases in. So we need something that kind of so we need a material that's light so it doesn't stop the buoyant force. So the only way we can capture this gas is by containing it, and this is what I mean. You can't have gas breathing pressure. We can't have even that pressure at the bottom of the balloon without containing it.
Agreed. And the helium is a lot more, a lot lighter than the air around it. But if it wasn't, it would hang around like other gases that we breathe and all the rest of it. But again, in closing, it's all very well to have an alternative theory, but you've got to find a mechanism, be it electromagnetism or whatever.
I have some postulations, I have some ideas, I have some theories, but I keep them close to my chest because I've got myself to this point now. I don't feel like just spoon feeding everybody for them to just go, "Oh, that's fucking ridiculous." So I'm going to continue to exercise my thoughts on what they could be. Like I said, Lemon Bird did say something about the frequency of the universe, because I do think there is a frequency that's going through the planet, because we do see there is a magnetic force that's going through the Earth. So there could be some sort of the sun and the moon could be going around us on a magnetic orbit. The sun looks like a positive particle, and that the sun looks like a moon, like the negative particle, because you look at that even on atom level in the small scale, you see things like that. I mean, I could speculate on a lot of things. The actual what gives you directionality of the upward and downward thing. All I can say at the moment, which all I know to my fullest knowledge, is that when things get to a certain lightness, they pass a certain line and they go up. They have a upward. They have a tend to go upwards. When they get past that, when they get heavy and past that point, they just tend to go down. And like there's certain things in the globe model they don't have answers for, but yet you believe like Big Bang or what was there before. You don't know, it's an unknown, but you know it's there. So you don't just say, oh well, we'll just forget the Big Bang then because you can't tell us where it come from. You just accept that. That's
can I now get in for 30 seconds?
Yeah, go for it.
Hang on.
30 seconds. 30 seconds. My turn now.
Yeah, go for it, Jim.
Otherwise, I will talk over.
Go for it, Jim. Go on.
Basically, this: nature's laws are not theories. The law of thermodynamics is a theory. It's a fact. I step back.
Right. The thing is, you and I think you're having a little bit of misconception here. The helium in the balloon is no different than the ship in the sea. Okay, you load a ship down, it will displace more water. You put the helium in the balloon, you put enough helium in the balloon so that it just displaces enough air so that it can rise. As it rises, the helium inside, as the pressure with the atmosphere lessens, the balloon will expand. That's why when you see a helium balloon go up, it looks as if it's almost empty, because that helium inside will expand as the atmosphere equalizes with the pressure with the helium in the balloon.
Is that what it decelerates as well?
And it's no different between a ship in the sea. The principle is the same between the ship in the sea and the helium in the balloon. Yeah, no difference.
Now, I haven't finished yet. I conducted an experiment here with a helium balloon, just an ordinary present to my son on a Valentine's, because his birthday fell on Valentine's, okay, just before it. Before he threw it away, I said, "Can I have that balloon? Don't throw it away." So I cut off the actual attachment, little string, got it in my classroom here, and it remained aloft for 14 months. 14 months it lasted, that balloon. 14 whole months. How do you explain that? It didn't come back down. So the bigger the helium balloon, the longer it's going to last, obviously.
Yeah, we're talking about the bursting of the helium balloon. And if you overfill it at ground level, as it rises, the helium inside, as the pressures equalize, the helium inside the balloon will expand. And if you put too much helium into the balloon, then it will expand to the extent which endangers the structural integrity of the balloon itself.
Yes, that's correct. Yeah, that's all very well. The thing is, right, I heard that the law of thermodynamics was a theory, which is what Reese, Sheeple said, and that's wrong. It's a law. It's nature's laws. Nature's laws are not theories. So there has to be a container to contain the gases that Earth produce. Otherwise, entropy would happen, and it would all go into the vastness of space if it's there. That's the point.
First of all, something in science is called a law when it is wholly defined within the only axiomatic language which we have, which is mathematics. That's why it's defined. That's why something in science is called a law.
So the thermal law, the law of thermodynamics states that if you've got gas pressure, it has to be contained. Otherwise, you don't have any pressure. That is the law. That was the law. Thank you. So there we have it.
That is a verbal description of it. That is not the law. The law itself is wholly.
It's called. Isn't it not called the law of thermodynamics? It's called the second law. It's called the first law is heat goes to cold. It's been proven. It's been proven. That's why it's a law.
Jim, they've got a rebuttal I was about to hear from either Nick or Michael. That's wrong. Why is that wrong?
Yeah.
The second law states that the entropy of an isolated system increases or remains the same. It doesn't say that gas needs to be contained.
It does have to be contained. It has to be.
No, it doesn't. That's
what the
incorrect.
law says.
That's
What the law means. The
says.
second law of thermodynamics states that you need, in order to have gas pressure, it has to be contained.
Okay, citation, please. Can you provide a citation which says that?
Citation.
Okay, then you can't back up your claim. Fair enough.
I'm not. It's not. I can't back up my claim. That is the claim. Look it up. Look it up. Use your computer and look up the second law of thermodynamics.
I have looked it up, and it says the entropy increases or remains the same.
You've got a computer. You've got your fingers. You've got your eyeballs. Get it done.
Jane, I think you just say the actual definition of gas pressure, it has a container in it. So you cannot even say the word gas pressure without the container. So it's in the definition of gas pressure. That's all you need to say, really. It's a citation within its own definition.
Yeah.
I'd rather hear from the particle physicist.
Gas pressure, you're talking about Boyle's law. But I mean, it's been years since I've been at school. But I think when you're talking about gas pressure, you're talking about Boyle's law.
That sounds like a nice name.
Yeah, well, they keep bringing up the ideal gas law, so I dare say it is Boyle's law that they keep doing.
Meanwhile, back at the ranch, no glow, no curvature. Simple as that.
Michael, I'd like to talk to you anyway. If you could, when you get a chance, not now, obviously, but when you get a chance when this room's not so busy, I'd like you to give us a crash course on your understanding of like things, because I think you're quite knowledgeable.
Reasons. The only thing I'm knowledgeable on that I would, that I would say that I'm able to have an adequate debate upon would be computers.
It's computers. Yeah, I thought so. But if you still got, if you can make
else, I'm a rank amateur because I could not give you the mathematical definition.
I'm not interested in the mathematical definitions. There, it's a load of bollocks anyway. All I want is a simple understanding. Like you what's the word? Converted a complicated subject into simple terms. The same with this ship. I think that if you can explain complicated situations with simple thoughts, then it's much that shows you have a deeper understanding than somebody that can write a mathematical equation.
Well,
in my opinion,
reasons I've got a little bit of practice in that. In that, I talk to people about computers who know nothing about it, so I've had to learn to put my thoughts into different ways.
Yeah. I've been used to talking to idiots my whole life as well.
No, it's not idiots. I mean, somebody being
hold on. How did this happen? One minute we're talking about the second law, and now we're talking about Brummy. Come on. I mean, if you wanted a personal,
no, I'm just saying. I just want to.
Yeah, if you want to have a personal chat with him about,
voice my opinion.
I think we've got a tech room somewhere for that kind of talk.
Tech room.
I think we have a tech room. Yeah.
That's all.
Because Nick and Jim were going back and forth on this law, and I thought this was going to.
That's the sort of language I talk though, because I hate when people try to complicate things to make themselves sophisticated and intelligent. They're just fucking idiots. Because all right, you could say the fucking 1,000 words, you've got this lovely linguistic, but you don't really understand the concept you're saying. You ain't really got independent thought. You can't convert it into a point that I can digest. If you can digest a complicated situation into something. Big complicated idea into small packages is much more impressive than somebody going, "Oh, look at me, supercalifragilisticexpialidocious." It's like, fuck off.
Well, give Nick a chance. He does do particle physics. You know what I mean? Like he ain't no dummy, and writing him off like that because he can do the mathematics. I mean, knowing it inside out, you can definitely break it down into simple terms. But
Yeah, but people like that.
Yes. But you're given the mathematics of the black swan simple, and yet you don't understand the concept.
Oh, we do.
The geometric horizon.
We do. We acknowledge the bendy crane.
Come on, guys. It doesn't require
All right, Jin. Come on, buddy. Let's go on this black swan. What do you know about the capabilities of steel to bend like a fucking noodle?
There's no steel there bending like a noodle, and I'm not even going to waste my time.
Yes, there is. I've seen your picture.
All I'm going to say to you is geometric
horizon. I've seen your shitty picture.
Geometric
so you
horizon.
can't answer the question. Nice deflection.
Horizon.
Hold on, Devos. Let him hang himself with the own argument. Jen,
Yeah,
you
okay,
must
Hank.
provide, the black swan image you're referring to, so we can get on the same page, and then we will seriously dismantle it.
Yes, certainly. Give me 3 minutes because I'm going to also provide the video, Mark Sargent, to accompany that. So give me 3 minutes.
Awesome.
Yeah, but Jin, something you've forgotten here is that both myself and Sheeple were one of the first people to debunk this bullshit with blue marble science.
You people couldn't debunk horse shit right in front of you, so shut up.
Jin, you couldn't answer a simple Hey, Jin, stop.
Jin, there's no denying horse shit.
Disrespectful.
There's no denying horse shit, Jin. It's horrible stuff.
Yeah, but why is it you couldn't answer the first question that I asked, mate? No, Jin.
Bullshit.
Jin!
I would have said he couldn't debunk a bed.
Right, so
be a bit more clean.
Stop talking if you're listening. Okay? That's how you listen. I said to you, tell me how steel can bend like a noodle in the atmosphere.
Davros, he's going to bring his evidence, and then you can point out the steel.
If you think steel's bending like a noodle in the image of the black swan. But just wait momentarily, please.
Like I said, Davros. He's in the pond, both feet on this one.
Yeah, he forgets we've been doing this since January, doesn't he? Sheeple.
I'm reality with my whole body, not just 2 feet.
I've just got back from my laser cutter, so if you need my slides all zoomed in and scaled and side by side and everything, just let me know. I'm just cleaning some of my cuts off at the moment.
No, bros. No.
Sweet.
So you think you're going to debunk the black swan then, guys?
But it's been debunked, and that's the problem. You guys keep bringing up the argument, even though it's been cooked and buried.
It's never going to go away. It's never going to go away.
You know why?
It's never going to go away.
I've got the picture that
debunks
the claim.
It's never going to go away.
Yeah, but Jin,
I've got
hang on. Jin, I've got the picture that debunks your claim.
You got Flat Earth Banjo. That challenge. Make your model. You ain't even got a model.
Stand on it, Jin.
You can't even make a toy model.
Why are you shouting? Why do you have to shout?
Davros, let him go. Davros, just let him go. And wait for the awkward silence. Trust me.
Yeah, let's
go. Come on,
let's get the picture, Jin, and then we can
get the picture, Davros. Work off the evidence.
Guys, if you give me, let me just shut up and get this done. Yeah.
All right.
Allow me 2 minutes to get it.
Cool.
Please carry on. 2 minutes.
Yeah. Davros.
Yeah, man.
Confirming. Oh, you can. It's not.
Just let's wait so that we're actually, looking at what he wants to discuss, and then point out all the things wrong with it.
Without bringing up.
And I've got blue marble slides on standby, also showing what it looked like on a different day from the same cameraman.
Yeah, we've also
along
got
with a GIF. Oh, you got full care as well? I've got a GIF with all the measurements on it and the work that Blue Marble did. So it ain't good. It ain't good. Anyone still hanging on to the Black Swan? But I'll let you handle it.
You're hanging on to gravity, bro.
I'll tell you what. If gravity wasn't a thing, these damn things would all be sinking to the bottom of the water bowl. Like annoying.
It's not a thing, bro. It's only a thing because you're hanging on. Hanging on to this invisible force.
Hang on. Where the fuck did gravity come into the fucking Black Swan?
No, because he said he's hanging on to Black Swan, so I just told him he's hanging on to gravity because it was a funny joke, bro.
Well, no, actually, it's gravity that's got me hanging on.
Brummy, please tell me you're not gonna write a song, dress up in a dress and sing Gravity.
Gravity. Please. When your ball is dead and you got no way, it's gravity.
I see you, cracking and putting on a Sunday dress and putting yourself on YouTube. I can see it now.
Whoa. Hang on, Sheeple. Sorry, I'm looking at Banjo's model. Fuck their big planes. That's as big as Australia.
I love that. I love it. Like the plane that takes off and it's already at the equator.
And why is New Zealand above New South Wales?
Listen, we don't really exist. It's a CIA headquarters.
Yeah, but now you're almost like Northeast Australia.
This is Operation Black Sheep.
It's not the fabrication, Nick, the one who could do the equations for.
Hell yeah.
Oh, for God's sake. And he doesn't know what book it is.
What do you mean, Nick? Nick hasn't spoken.
Oh, that's good then. Because I was going to say, he's Dr. Fabrication. He's the guy that you was referring to as being intelligent. I'd felt a bit.
You say Nick
Have- have-
Smoker, that guy that does
Like,
cigarette
do you understand?
That's
Yeah,
great.
do you understand why I
Did that
use
black
the name Dr. Fabrication Engineer? Do you know what happens if you shorten that? I'm Dr. FE, mate.
I never fucking picked that up until you told me just now. Oh fuck! I'm
big name,
echoing.
bro.
David
I
must be
respect it.
close by.
Respect all my flat FE brothers, bro.
You're gonna hijack all these song lyrics, aren't you? And you're gonna turn them all into.
You want? That's what you want. You want entertainment. I know you want it, man. It's good. That
Okay,
was a good
gentlemen,
argument,
here it comes, guys. Buckle your seatbelts. Here it comes.
What you brought a good argument out of me though. I fucking, it was really like it was. You was your high frequency argument, very to the point as well. Very good back and forth. It was good.
That was good fun.
Yeah, it was good, man. When like you try to you say your point, the other person just moans so much about your point that you just made, you just end up never getting to the next point. But we went through every point, like
yeah.
Still waiting for these pictures, Jim.
But I noticed on the third pass, I purposely interrupted you to show you how annoyed I was from the beginning.
Oh, okay.
Sheeple,
okay, Sheeple, we've got our first one, which says bye-bye ball. Okay, so the...
Alright, cool.
Sorry, I'm just looking at all the bendy, wibbly, wobbly bits of steel here that if you look at the actual things, they're fucking straight as a die.
God damn it.
Alright. Let's just get best way to do it is let Jin explain what he sees and then explain what you see and question him on it. I think that's the best way.
Just read the writing. Read the right. What does it say to you?
Bob,
Please read.
bye, ball.
Right. Did you see the video? Did you see the video that I sent as well? Yeah.
Oh,
there's a video.
Yeah. Okay. So, Jin,
Right.
Jin,
Watch the video.
I'm gonna break
Watch
this
the
down.
video.
Yeah, wait, Jin, I'm going to break this down from your image to begin with, and then we'll go on to Mark Sargent, right? So, you don't
Just
have any
watch the video,
evidence that
guys.
the observer... Jin!
Watch the videos and listen to Mark Sargent. That's what you need to do.
Jin,
you need to look at
Jin,
the image and
Jin,
watch
Jin.
the video together, and then you're going to get a better
Wow.
understanding.
Like, wow! Are you having a conversation, or are you just talking at a screen?
You just do it.
I am about to. I'm going to start with your picture, and then I'll move on to Mark Sargent. I said that at the start.
But you need to watch them together to get a better
No,
understanding.
I don't. I don't need to do what you want me to do, because you won't do what we want you to do. Right, so you don't have evidence that the guy is actually at 1 foot.
Well, now we're being silly. Now we're being silly. Hang on, because the maths speak for itself.
Hang on, I'm not talking about
Jin.
maths.
Don't get triggered so easy, Jin.
I'm not talking about the mathematics here. I'm talking about the observations. All right, nothing to do with the math.
The maths speak
You have no evidence that he was at 1 foot. You have nothing to go on to say that he was at 1 foot. The other thing too, all those bendy bits of steel, that's not correct. That is incorrect from what steel fucking looks like.
Look at the horizon.
Therefore, there's something wrong with the picture. Do you understand? There's something wrong with the picture.
Look at the horizon.
No, I'm not talking about the horizon.
Look at the horizon.
All the numbers. I'm not talking about the horizon. All the numbers, that's irrelevant to what I'm talking about. It's irrelevant.
Davros, let him get all of his argument out first, so that he is trapped by it. Okay, don't cut him off at the
He
pass.
won't let me finish what I'm saying.
He's a loose cannon, Jin, but he's
But that's his style, bro.
Look at this, yeah. Look at the numbers. Look at the numbers and do the maths.
Jin.
You're the one.
Jin,
You were
take
talking
the-
about
Jin.
maths earlier.
Oh, hang
Let
on.
him take
You
us-
said
No,
one
it's not
thing.
Take us through it.
I'm trying to respond.
Take us through it, Jin.
Okay, so you want me to look at the numbers. I said they're irrelevant to what I was observing. So why are you bringing it in when I don't want to talk about it?
It's relevant to the size of your globe. Your globe is a specific size.
But that's not what I'm talking about.
That's what I'm talking about. The numbers and the specific
but it's not about you.
That's why I brought up the black one. Okay?
It's not about you. It's about your picture and what I've observed that has nothing to do with the horizon. Okay?
Well, this is why I brought up the black swan. One, it's about the horizon and your geometric horizon according to the globe specifications. Yeah, that's what it's about there.
Jim,
you should only be able to see
I'll concede to that point if I can move on.
Right, move on.
Right, so back to the observation of your picture. You don't have evidence that that photo was taken at 1 foot because you don't have a landmark close enough to make that measurement. The other thing too, the boom that burns off the gas from when they're getting the oil shouldn't be bent to fuck like that. If it is, they would have to shut down the fucking rig.
I don't know what you're talking about really at the end of the day. It's an oil rig.
And that's
everything looks tickety-boo to me. And I'm an expert with steel and metal. My hands prove that fact. If you touch my hands, they're like rhinos.
Okay, buddy, let's go. So what is the nodule configuration of mild steel?
What is wrong with you, Davros? You're
I don't know it in the sense of its scientific, let's say, explanation of it. I'm talking about physically heating it up, bending and shaping, making steel doors.
And unfortunately, the atmosphere in the sun on Earth is not hot enough to bend steel that is used to do
That's why I'm
those
saying you're
pieces
being
on
silly.
the rig.
This is why I'm saying
so
you're
why
being
are they
silly.
all bent in the picture?
Because that's the shape they are, you worry. Come on.
In real life, yeah.
I'm stopping what I'm doing, Davros, to send you the picture. Actually, I'll put it in chat. Hold on a second.
Put it in chat.
That's not the shape that they are, Jin. Come on now. I realize you're trolling, but still,
that was Kev, that's the.
He's not trolling. He's honestly that's stupid.
That's the argument. That's the argument he's now held himself to. That is the shape they are.
Yeah.
Which means they could never change. Au contraire.
Well, you see, if you're talking about, excuse me for talking whilst my mouth is full, sorry about that. Breakfast time. If you're talking about
no, Jim, please.
Hang on.
No, Jim, don't.
If you're talking about atmospheric refraction, it can distort and warp things. Yes, it can. But look at the horizon.
I don't know if he's eating or
which can also be distorted, warped, or loomed.
But Jen, just very simple things, like no eating, no singing, not a big deal.
There's no point in this. I mean, I'll point it out, but there's no point in doing so.
I think
what are we doing?
Sorry, gentlemen, I'll say again.
Flat.
Why aren't we making
This is
fun
falling
of
I say again, gentlemen.
I'm sorry. It was my fault for trying to engage you.
With them.
Yeah, it's my fault for trying.
Really available to us. Mock them.
Yeah.
Right.
Look, it's my fault for trying to be civil with him, yet he decided to play the child, which is usually my job.
No reason to be civil to somebody like him. Not the way they behave.
No, he's just like, he wouldn't let me get the point out about the two things that I wanted to talk about. He has to keep going, but the horizon and the numbers and the this and the that. But that's not what I was talking about.
Well, I put the things in chat there, Ross, so.
Thanks, my friend.
Have at it.
So, Jin, can you explain why in one picture all the steel beams are straight, one of them's hidden by something, and the pictures that you keep fucking posting look nothing like it? Why is that?
Same cameraman.
Why has he got two different pictures from the same fucking location?
I think he's eating.
The globe's dead, boys. The globe's dead.
That's the awkward silence I spoke
Can
about.
you hear me?
Oh, we can hear you now, Jin. Yeah. But please don't eat,
And
don't eat on the mic,
this
though,
one.
Jin. It's very important because.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
I've got communications.
No, who is it?
Look, fucking hell, I've got communications issues. That's why I keep repeating. I've got communications issues here.
Then go and fix your issues instead of fucking around.
It's nothing I can do with it.
Police again.
There's nothing I can do about that. So now, basically, you're talking about refraction, yes? Yeah?
No.
Well, that's why things change.
No, wait.
Why things can change. It's all right. Go on.
Oh my God! Do you know how to talk to another person?
It's retarded. You're asking a lot.
Are you fucking autist or something?
You can't figure
Yes,
out.
I'm going to use ad hominem attacks on you now, Jin, because you're a disrespectful cunt.
He's yelling in front of someone else. He's being disrespectful to them, not you.
Jen, as a liar of honor and integrity that you are, I would implore you to not bring shame and disrepute any further upon Flat Earth.
He's now going to admit that there is bending present.
Here we go now. Right, listen. For the sake
there was
of
refraction.
being amicable and cordial, I'm trying to be, but you guys are not listening, are you? I'm saying to you, that when I'm talking, don't talk. That's what fucking happens. Now listen. What I'm trying to say is this. You guys mentioned refraction, and there are times when the atmospheric conditions can warp still, can warp the image. Okay? Did you get that?
Okay, bud.
Did you get that?
Why did you say warp steel? Do you think the steel's actually changing shape?
I personally do not. That's what they think. They keep saying that the metal's all twisted like a noodle. I mean, that's just an insult to the image.
But look at your picture.
I don't understand what you're saying.
I'm laughing at what they say. I'm saying to them, the reason I brought up... You see, yeah, but okay, well, let me explain. Stop talking and let me explain. The reason why I brought up the Black Swan was for the numbers, the maths involved. The Earth has, the global
you don't
Earth...
like maths. You don't believe in maths.
Don't
trust maths.
over me.
And
You are talking again. Shut up.
accept it.
Allow me. I require 2 minutes of silence so I can get it out. 2 minutes. Now, you guys and your model, the Earth has a specific size and
Do you know how to
dimensions.
get it
The
out?
reason
You've
I
had
brought
more
up the
than
Black
sufficient
Swan,
time.
you're talking again. The reason why I brought up the Black Swan.
So are you, Jin. You're talking again too, mate.
And it states that.
Write it down,
If
Jin.
you have a
No one's got 2 minutes of
24,000,
attention
I said
span
2
for you.
minutes. I did say 2 minutes.
And we don't care that you said 2 minutes. Write it down and put it in the text chat.
Problem.
Too long.
Shut your mouth.
Like
That's why we have
a minute and a
problems.
half too
Because
long.
Jin.
we cannot
Jin.
get. You see, if you want an amicable debate and discussion, that's how you have one. I've specified.
Right, Jin, then shut the fuck up and listen.
Jin, come on, bro. You're doing that thing that you do again. Just relax.
That this is how you have a shit show.
I know, but
If you can't
they're
stay
gonna keep
patient
picking
and
on your
Like I
overreaction.
said,
They're feeding off your overreactions. You need to have a lot of self-control, even when it feels a bit unfair. Just chill.
Nah, Jin, you're fine.
You need to.
Ruby, out of everyone
Jin-
here,
Jin
you are
needs
not
to
the one
stop.
saying that.
I
Go
agree with
on,
that.
Jin.
I totally
Is
agree
not
with
the
that.
retarded one here.
Get your point out, bro. Come on. These
I totally agree with that. You are right there, bro. I can see
can I
that.
articulate my point? Can I
You've already
not
got the
articulate
point
my
out.
point?
You've
in
already
2
got the
minutes?
point out, Jin.
Can I have that time? Yes or no?
No,
Write
Jin,
it
you've
down,
already
Jin.
got the point out.
And then he asks and he talks, then he asks for some points.
I need 2 minutes to address the point that I already made.
Jin, you already told us you're talking about the numbers and the horizon. And when I was engaging you, I said, that's not what I'm talking
I
about
haven't.
to you.
I haven't. I have not. You don't understand what I'm saying, as you keep saying. Then you call me a retard. Can you talk to someone? Can I just get this point out, yes or no?
Okay, Jen, tell us about the... He's going to tell us about the radius.
The Earth
Tell us
has
about
a
the radius.
specific size, 24,901 miles.
Write
Radius,
it down.
3959. So now...
So nobody
Write
understands.
it down. You're not capable of talking.
2 minutes, so nobody can understand.
He can't even talk for 2 minutes.
We don't want to challenge him.
I don't want to challenge him either.
Why can I hear myself?
Post the picture of your bicycle, Jen.
Does he have a special helmet? Does he wear a special helmet when he's riding his bike?
Thank you, yes.
Curved, how big is the soft spot on Jin's head?
The
Or
size
does he
of
have it
his
from
head.
birth?
What's your point, guys?
Half the size of one of David's hemorrhoids.
What's your point, guys?
Bro.
Another psychological
Jin,
game.
we've conceded that we're no longer going to address you on this point because you're not making any logical argument.
No communication.
But he's got a sweet
Eat
bike.
my brain completely.